country borders to reopen in stages. Malaysia fully prepared to become hepatitis C treatment hub. Hello and good evening. Thank you for tuning in. You're watching News at 10 with me, Shuhaida Arifin. The reopening of countries' borders will be done in stages. Senior Defence Minister Datuk Seri Hishamuddin Tun Hussein said detailed planning is needed to ensure Malaysia's transition into the endemic phase runs smoothly. Datuk Seri Hishamuddin, who is also the chairman of the COVID-19 quartet meeting, said every step taken by the government is understood by all quarters so that the country's efforts to contain COVID-19 are not affected.
Ini tidak hanya merangkumi satu sektor sahaja, tetapi melibatkan kemasukan pekerja asing di bawah Kementerian Sumber Manusia, pelancongan di bawah Kementerian Pelancongan, perjalanan perniagaan di bawah Kementerian Perdagangan Antarabangsa dan Industri, serta yang terbaru skrim VTL udara. Operasinya melibatkan Kementerian Pengangkutan Datuk Seri Wee Ka Siong, Kementerian Kesihatan YB-KJ, Kementerian Perdagangan Dalam Negeri dan juga Kementerian Dalam Negeri.
The Vaccinated Travel Lane, VTL, announced recently between Malaysia and Singapore will allow air travel from KLIA to Changi Airport starting 29 November. Other than that, Indonesia also has agreed to refine the VTL with Malaysia to allow Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta as well as Kuala Lumpur, Bali travel. Datuk Seri Hishamuddin added that the international travel bubble to Langkawi, which began yesterday, will also be used as a weighing factor to allow international travel. However, the final decision will only be made by the Special COVID-19 Pandemic Management Committee chaired by the Prime Minister. Malaysia is ready to become a hub for hepatitis C treatment in the region by offering a combination treatment of Remdesivir and Sofosbuvir at affordable prices. Health Minister Khairy Jamaluddin said that the new product for medical tourism was offered following Malaysia becoming the first country to be given conditional approval to offer treatment from the combination of the two drugs.
Kita akan memasarkan rawatan ini kepada pengembara-pengembara daripada luar negara untuk mendapat rawatan hepatitis C di Malaysia yang merupakan rawatan jangka masa panjang, tempoh masa dalam 3 bulan lebih, untuk mereka bukan hanya mendapat rawatan di sini tetapi pulih di sini juga.
He said this at a press conference in conjunction with the Insight 2021 conference here today. The Insight 2021, the region's leading medical travel market intelligence conference, organised by the Malaysia Healthcare Travel Council (MHTC), will be held for 3 days starting today. He said the offer was also in line with the World Health Organization's WHO mission to reduce the spread of hepatitis virus infection by 90% and reduce deaths due to the virus by 65% by 2030. Earlier, Khairy launched the Malaysia as the destination for hepatitis C treatment promotion, which was also attended by Minister in the Prime Minister's Department Economy, Datuk Seri Mustafa Muhammad, Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, and MHTC Chief Executive Officer Muhammad Daud Muhammad Arif. The second session of the investiture ceremony to confer the 2021 federal orders, decorations and medals to 201 recipients in conjunction with the official birthday of the Yang di-Pertuan Agong took place at Istana Negara today. Also present was the Raja Pemaisuri Agong Tunku Haja Aziza Aminah Maimunah Iskandaria. Heading the list of recipients today was International Trade and Industry Ministry Secretary General Dato' Lokman Hakim Ali, as he was conferred the Panglima Jasa Negara PJN Award, which carries the title Dato'. Among others who also received the Dato' title were Kelantan State Secretary Dato' Nazran Muhammad, legendary squash player Dato' Nicole and David, as well as 10 others. The ceremony was continued with the conferment of other awards, including the Johan Mangkunegara, Johan Setia Mahkota and Johan Setia Diraja. The ceremony conducted in the new norm following the COVID-19 pandemic required guests to wear a face mask, have their body temperature checked and the My Sejahtera QR code scanned at the Istana Negara Security Hall. The early voting process for the Malacca state election has been completed, as all 31 early voting centres were closed at 5:30 p.m. According to the Election Commission EC, a total of 89.9% of early voters had cast their ballots. There are 11,557 registered early voters for the state polls, comprising 9,217 military personnel and their spouses, as well as 2,340 police personnel. The process was held with a strict emphasis on compliance with standard operating procedures (SOPs), in line with the COVID-19 prevention guidelines under the National Recovery Plan. The Dewan Rakyat was told today that the National Wage Legislative Technical Committee (JTPGN) will present the findings on the study and review of the impact of the Minimum Wage Order (PGM 2020) to the National Wage Consultative Council (MPGN) this Thursday. Human Resources Minister Datuk Seri M. Saravanan said that the committee would also make recommendations on the rate and coverage of the minimum wage to MPGN.
Ambil maklum cadangan kadar gaji minimum baru ditetapkan kepada 1,500 sebulan seperti yang dicadangkan oleh Yang Berhormat Muar dan Yang Berhormat Bahan. Berhubung perkara ini, peningkatan gaji minimum sewajarnya dilaksanakan secara berperingkat agar tidak memberi tekanan dan membebankan majikan serta menjejaskan operasi syarikat, terutama industri mikro kecil dan sederhana. Selain boleh mendedahkan pekerja kepada risiko kehilangan peluang pekerjaan.
Speaking in the August Hall today, the minister said the wage rate increase framework was not presented in the tabling of the 2022 budget because the Ministry of Human Resources through MPGN was still in the final stages of preparing the PGM 2020 review report. According to the National Wages Consultative Council Act 2011, PGM must be reviewed at least once every 2 years. The outcome of a study and parameters for the proposed amendments of the Whistleblower Protection Act 2010, Act 711, will be tabled to the Cabinet scheduled next month. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Parliament and Law, Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar said 7 issues involving amendments to several sections of the Law Act were still being studied by the Working Committee.
Satu jawatankuasa kerja telah ditubuh bagi menilai, mengkaji serta menetapkan parameter berdasarkan cadangan pindaan penambahbaikan yang telah diterima bagi pihak berkepentingan. Ahli-ahli jawatankuasa terdiri daripada pihak agensi penguatkuasa, agensi jabatan di negeri-negeri, syarikat-syarikat swasta, JLC, CSO dan NGO. Tujuan 7 isu yang berkaitan dengan Akta 711 telah dikenal pasti untuk diberi keutamaan dalam proses penambahbaikan akta tersebut.
He was responding to a question from the opposition leader Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim on the proposed reviews of the Act and its effectiveness in protecting whistleblowers in cases of misconduct and high-profile corruption. Datuk Seri Wan Junaidi said of the 73,545 complaints received by enforcement agencies since 2011 until now, the number of informants involved was only 527 people. Coming up next, Immigration Department cripples document forgery syndicate. The High Court was told today that fugitive businessman Low Tech Joe or Joe Low had instructed Datuk Seri Najib Tun Razak not to speak too much on 1MDB to audit firm KPMG Malaysia as a strategy before the meeting with the firm. Former 1MDB Chief Financial Officer CFO Azmi Tahir, when disclosing the matter, said the instruction was made through an email titled Urgent Briefing Package for Yang Amat Berhormat Perdana Menteri, which he sent to the former Prime Minister and 1MDB representatives, himself included, before the meeting, which was held on 15 December 2013 at Datuk Seri Najib's residence. In the email, Joe Low instructed for Datuk Seri Najib not to speak too much with KPMG, and it must be said that Datuk Seri Najib had been briefed that he knew about all the investments and transactions in 1MDB and that he is confident with the existing documents. Azmi, who is the 12th prosecution witness, told the court that the meeting was held because KPMG wanted to know Datuk Seri Najib's knowledge on 1MDB's $2.3 billion abroad, especially the investment by Brazen Sky Limited, a special purpose vehicle SPV, to repatriate investment monies by 1MDB. Datuk Seri Najib, 68, is facing 4 charges, namely using his position to obtain bribes amounting to 2.3 billion ringgit from 1MDB funds and 21 charges of money laundering involving the same amount. The trial before Judge Datuk Colin Lawrence Sequeira continues. The Immigration Department has busted a document forgery syndicate with the arrest of a Pakistani national who is believed to be the mastermind and seized various security stamps in a raid at a luxury condominium in Setapak last Friday. Its Director General, Datuk Khairul Zaimi Daud, said the raiding team also uncovered a room at the premises which was turned into a laboratory to produce various fake security documents. Among the items seized were a computer, a card printing machine, stickers for work permits for foreign workers, PLKS, Malaysian driving licenses, visas of foreign countries, and 13,710 ringgit cash. The syndicate is believed to have been operating since last year and charged between 300 and 500 ringgit for each PLKS sticker, depending on the quality required by the customers, comprising mostly of Pakistani and Bangladesh nationals. In a statement today, Datuk Khairul Zaimi said for each forged driving license, the fee charge is 50 ringgit. He said the 37-year-old suspect was also believed to be using a valid PLKS from a cleaning company to enable him to move freely to carry out the illegal activities. Following questioning, the suspect led the immigration team to another condominium in Jalan Genting Klang, which was rented for similar activities, where fake social visit passes, PLS, and other fake immigration official stamps were seized. The suspect was detained at the Semasa Immigration Depot for further action. A 56-year-old civil servant was detained for allegedly shooting another man at a bar in Bandar Puchong Jaya. Serdang District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner A.A. Anbalagan said the victim suffered wounds to his back and left arm. The incident occurred at a bar at about 8:45 p.m. yesterday. The suspect had allegedly fired a shot from a pistol and hit the 56-year-old male victim, who was a customer of the premises. ACP Anbalagan, when contacted today, said the victim was sent to Serdang Hospital for treatment and he is in stable condition. Initial investigations revealed that the suspect is a civil servant who had permission to carry a firearm. The pistol used in the incident was also seized and investigations on the incident are underway. The suspect did not know the victim and there was no provocation prior to the incident. The case is being investigated under Section 307 of the Penal Code. A total of 10,138 applications to rent a unit in People's Housing Project PPR and Public Housing PA in Kuala Lumpur were made from 2019 until September this year. Deputy Federal Territories Minister Datuk Seri Jalaluddin Alias said so far the Kuala Lumpur City Hall DBKL has approved 1,654 applications. Of the approved applicants, 686 were offered PPR and PA units, while another 968 applicants are still waiting for a unit to be assigned for them.
Terdapat beberapa faktor kenapa unit-unit kosong masih belum dapat diserahkan kepada 968 pemohon yang tersebut. Pertamanya ialah masih lagi terdapat unit-unit yang sedang dibaik pulih, yang mana unit-unit yang telah diambil semula oleh DBKL daripada penyewa yang sudah tidak mempunyai kelayakan, maka sekarang ini DBKL dalam proses untuk melakukan baik pulih. Yang keduanya, wujud penyewa yang telah melepasi kadar kelayakan bagi menduduki unit-unit ini tetapi masih lagi enggan keluar daripada unit yang telah diarahkan keluar. Dan yang ketiga, tidak ada sebarang projek-projek baru PPR yang telah siap untuk kita tawarkan kepada penyewa yang semakin meningkat daripada tahun ke tahun.
Speaking while answering questions asked by Kepong MP, Lim Lip Eng in the Dewan Rakyat Deputy Minister also said a new public housing project is currently under construction and another 14 projects are currently in the planning process. The Mass Rapid Transit MRT Putrajaya Phase 1 line will not be open for revenue service in November 2021 as previously scheduled due to incomplete testings. Mass Rapid Transit Corporation Sendirian Berhad MRT Corp Chief Executive Officer Datuk Muhammad Zarif Hashim said the line may be ready for revenue service in the second quarter of 2022. MRT trains have clocked up 3,000 hours of trial operations and large amount of data had been gathered. Having gone through the data, Datuk Muhammad Zarif said that out of hundreds of subsystem modules being implemented, 2 modules were detected to be needing further refinement.
So all these systems, all these tests were carried out. However, these 2 activities have not been completed. So as a result, MRT Corp is still not able to take possession of the MRT Putrajaya line Phase 1. We are not able to take the possession of the assets yet.
Briefing reporters today, he said the refinement of the subsystem is necessary to rectify the tertiary data issue to ensure that the service could operate in an impeccable state. It resulted in the delay of the opening of the MRT Putrajaya Phase 1 line. The trial operations for the MRT Putrajaya line Phase 1 section has been ongoing since 29th April 2021. National bowling squad clinches silver and bronze medal, that and more in our sports segment. The National 10-pin bowling camp ended their campaign in the International Bowling Federation IBF World Championships in the United Arab Emirates UAE with silver and bronze medal from the women's and men's team events respectively. The women's team comprising Siti Safia Amira Abdurrahman, Natasha Muhammad Roslan, Nur Shazwani Sahar and Fatin Najiyah Ahmad Faik missed the title after losing to the United States in the finals held at the Sports and Fitness Wellbeing Hub at Expo 2020 Dubai late Monday. The women's team comprising Siti Safia Amira Abdurrahman, Natasha Muhammad Roslan, Nur Shazwani Sahar and Fatin Najiyah Ahmad Faik missed the title after losing to the United States in the finals held at the Sports, Fitness and Wellbeing Hub at Expo 2020 Dubai late Monday. Meanwhile, the men's team settled for bronze after they went down 184-299 against eventual champions South Korea in the semi-finals after eliminating US 279-258 in the quarter-finals. Meanwhile, the journey of national badminton mixed doubles Chan Peng Soon Goh Liu Ying in the 2021 Indonesia Master came to an abrupt end as they suffered a swift loss at the hands of German duo Jones Rafi Janison, Linda Effler 21-13, 21-19. They said they were aware of their mistakes during the encounter on the court.
First game kita belum dapat feeling lagi, and then ada sikit macam keliru, and then second game kita masa nak catch up, tapi saya boleh cakap sendiri sendiri punya benda buat tak cukup bagus lah, which mean macam shuttle punya quality semua returning semua tak cukup bagus, dan jadilah orang pun sangat fokus dengan this game kita nak menentang balik, tapi tak jadilah.
Sebab as a doing say pun sini punya shuttle pun compare dengan Europe pun different, so itu taktikal pun nak tukar balik, so kita akan buat analyse with coach lah.
Nonetheless, the Rio de Janeiro 2016 silver medalists will strive to improve on their tactical aspects before taking part in the Indonesian Open Championship next week. Alright, so that concludes this evening's news at 10. In our top story, country borders to reopen in stages. Join us again at 12:30 tomorrow afternoon. I'm Shuhaida Arifin. Stay tuned to saluran Berita RTM and have a pleasant evening.